So Grok 4.3 beta launched as a $300 a month exclusive, locked behind the SuperGrok Heavy tier and basically out of reach for normal users. But here's what's about to happen. XAI has confirmed they're rolling it out to regular SuperGrok members at $30 a month within the next few weeks. And most people have no idea what's actually coming. So before that rollout hits, let me show you exactly what you're about to get access to. So in this video, I'll walk you through every major feature of Grok 4.3 beta, show you exactly how to use them, and break down whether the upgrade is actually worth getting excited about, so you're ready the second access opens up. We'll cover native document generation, video understanding, the new reasoning upgrades, the auto-fast expert modes, and what the rollout is going to look like. First up, the feature that turns Grok from a chatbot into something that genuinely feels like a coworker. Let's get into it. What is Grok 4.3 beta? Before we dive into the cool stuff, let me give you the quick context, because this part actually matters for understanding why 4.3 is a bigger deal than it looks on paper. Grok is XAI's AI chatbot, and it's classified as a multimodal large language model, meaning it doesn't just handle text, it works across multiple types of input. Grok 4.3 beta dropped in April 2026 as the newest flagship. And here's where it gets interesting. It's roughly the same scale as Grok 4.20, but it was trained for longer and packed with more capabilities. The architecture got upgraded, and its knowledge runs all the way through December 2025, so it's genuinely current. But here's the spec that should make you sit up. Grok 4.3 keeps the massive 2 million token context window, which is the largest of any Western AI model right now. To put that in perspective, you can drop in an entire book, a months-long email thread, or a feature-length video transcript, and it'll still keep track of every detail. It also retains the 16-agent heavy architecture from Grok 4.20, which is basically 16 reasoning agents coordinating on your problem at the same time. Now that you know what's under the hood, let me show you the upgrade everyone's actually talking about. New document creation tools. This is the headline feature, and honestly, it's the one that made me go, wait, really? The first time I saw it. Grok 4.3 can now generate finished documents natively. No more copy-pasting into Word, no more reformatting in PowerPoint, no more rebuilding tables in Excel. You ask, Grok delivers the actual file right inside the chat. Let me break down what that actually means in practice. For PDFs, you can prompt something like, create a PDF report on renewable energy trends, or generate a professional PDF proposal for a client pitch. And Grok writes the full content and outputs it as a finished PDF you can download immediately. For slide decks, this is where it gets fun. Try a prompt like, make a 10-slide PowerPoint about climate change mitigation. And Grok structures the whole thing. Titles, bullet points, the works. It's not perfect Apple Keynote level design, but it's genuinely usable as a starting point, which is huge if you've ever stared at a blank PowerPoint at 11 p.m. For spreadsheets, Grok handles data tables and even charts. Say something like, build a spreadsheet analyzing Q1 sales data, and you get rows, formulas, and visualizations, all formatted and ready to go. These features were confirmed across multiple beta tests and demos, and the AI Pixel newsletter put it pretty bluntly. Grok 4.3 can now generate PDFs, PowerPoint slides, and spreadsheets directly inside the chat, eliminating the need for extra tools. Now, watching it work is one thing. Actually using it efficiently is another. So let me show you exactly how to prompt these tools to get the best results. Quick thing before we continue. I want to tell you about a tool I've been messing around with that actually solves a problem I've had for a while. You know how it goes. You use ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. You build a workflow, a report, an automation. Works great. Then you close the tab, come back the next day, and you're starting from scratch. The work dies with the chat window. Every time, Creao AI fixes that. You describe what you need in plain English, just like prompting any AI. But Creao doesn't just give you text. It writes code, executes it live, connects to your actual tools. Google Sheets, Gmail, Slack, Notion, over 20 integrations, and delivers real outputs. Files, dashboards, spreadsheet updates, real artifacts. Here's the part that got me. Once your workflow runs, you hit one button, Create Agent, and Creao locks that entire workflow into a permanent app. No more reprompting. No more re-explaining. Clean input form, hit run, same result every time. Deterministic. No hallucination, no LLM reinterpretation. Then you schedule it.
Weekly report every Monday at 9 a.m. Done. Daily data pull from 3 sources. Set it and forget it. You described it once. The AI built it. You're out of the loop. There's a free tier, no credit card.
I'll drop the link below. Try it with one workflow. You repeat every week and see what happens when that task just handles itself. Using document tools? Here's the thing nobody tells you. The way you prompt these document tools makes a huge difference in what you get back. Vague prompt, vague output. Specific prompt, genuinely useful output. So let me give you the templates I've been using. For PDFs, instead of just saying, write me a PDF, try this. Create a PDF brochure on our new smartphone, including specs, key benefits, and a closing call to action. That's structure. What's the document? What should it include? What's the goal? Gets you a finished file you can actually hand to a client without rewriting half of it. For slide decks, I've been getting solid results with prompts like draft a 5-slide PowerPoint introducing our startup idea, with 1 slide each for problem, solution, market, traction, and ask. See how I'm telling it the structure? That's the trick. Grok will hand you back a downloadable deck that already has the bones in place. For spreadsheets, try generate a spreadsheet budget for a marketing campaign, including categories for paid ads, content, events, and tools with monthly columns for Q1. Specific categories, specific time frame. You'll get a populated table with real values and even charts on top. This is what makes Grok 4.3 feel less like a chatbot and more like an actual coworker. You're not exporting answers anymore, you're getting deliverables. And once you start using it this way, going back to the old copy-paste workflow feels genuinely painful. But document generation is just one piece of what Grok 4.3 does. The next feature is the one that surprised me the most, because it changes what you can even feed into the AI in the first place. Your multimodal, image and video understanding. Okay, this next part is wild, and I don't think most people realize how big a shift this is. Grok 4.3 isn't just multimodal in name, it's genuinely multimodal in practice. It keeps everything Grok 4 could already do with images, and then adds native video input on top. That means you can drop a video file straight into the chat and ask Grok about it. Let me break down both sides. For images, Grok already handled photos, charts, diagrams, and even basic image editing. You can upload a picture and ask, describe the objects in this image, or edit this image to change the background, and it works. Grok 4.3 keeps all of that. But here's where it gets interesting. The brand new feature in 4.3 is video understanding. The AI Pixel newsletter put it directly. Video input is now live. And Grok can analyze and understand video content natively. So you upload an MP4, paste in a video URL, whatever, and Grok actually watches it. Here's what that unlocks. Try a prompt like, summarize the main scene of this uploaded video, or list all the objects and actions in this clip. Grok processes the frames and the audio together and gives you a textual answer. For video creators, this is huge. Imagine getting AI feedback on your edit before you publish, or auto-generating outlines from raw footage. So now Grok can read documents, generate them, see images, and watch videos. Which raises the obvious question, is the actual reasoning underneath any better, or did XAI just bolt on more inputs? That's where the next upgrade comes in. Improved core reasoning. Here's what nobody mentions in the launch posts. The underlying reasoning got an upgrade too, and it's subtle, but it shows up the moment you ask Grok to do something complicated. Because Grok 4.3 was trained for longer than 420, it tends to give sharper, more coherent answers on complex queries. The AI Pixel team described it as improved performance on multi-step tasks, which translates to your strategic plans, creative briefs, and coding scripts coming out more reliable on the first try. And remember that 2 million token context window I mentioned earlier? It's still here, which means you can feed Grok an entire book, a long dataset, or a full video transcript, all the way up to about 2 million tokens, and it'll still keep things coherent across the whole thing. That's the largest context window available on any major closed model today, and it's a quiet superpower for anyone doing serious research or analysis work. Now, all this reasoning power is great, but Grok also lets you control how hard it thinks for any given task. That's where the mode selector comes in. There's modes: fast, expert, and auto. If you've opened Grok 4.3 already, you've probably noticed a little drop-down at the top of the chat with 3 options: auto, fast, and expert. Most people just leave it on auto and never think about it again, but understanding what each one does will genuinely change how you use this tool. Fast mode gives you quick answers with minimal thinking. Think of it as the non-reasoning mode. Ideal when you just need a snappy reply. Expert mode, sometimes called big brain, throws maximum compute at your question for the deepest possible reasoning. This is what you want for math proofs, complex planning, or anything multi-step that you can't afford to get wrong. And auto mode is the smart middle ground. It looks at your prompt and decides whether to use fast or expert under the hood. In practice, auto routes most questions through the reasoning engine for speed without sacrificing quality. Here's how I think about it. Ask Grok, what's the capital of France? Auto picks fast and gives you Paris in milliseconds. Ask Grok, design me a 6-month go-to-market plan for a new SaaS product. Auto switches to the full reasoning model and gives you something genuinely useful. This unification actually started with Grok 4 Fast back in September 2025, where XAI moved to a single underlying model that gets steered by the prompt itself. My recommendation, leave it on auto for daily use, but flip to expert manually when you know the task is heavy, like financial analysis or coding architecture. And use fast when you just want a quick lookup and don't need a full reasoning chain. So now you've got the features, the inputs, the reasoning, and the modes. Let me show you what it looks like when you put all of this together in one real workflow. Nice walkthrough example. Let's say you're a marketer launching a new product. Here's how you'd actually chain Grok 4.3's features together to do the whole campaign in one session. Step 1. You start by prompting, create a PDF press release for our new gadget, covering features, target audience, and launch date. Grok writes the press release and hands you back a downloadable PDF. Step 2. You build on that. You prompt, turn that press release into a 5-slide investor pitch deck. Grok takes the content from step 1 and outputs a PowerPoint file with structured slides, titles, bullet points, the whole thing, ready to open in PowerPoint or Google Slides. Step 3, this is where the multimodal power really shows. You've got a 30-second product demo video. You upload it and prompt, analyze this demo video and list the key features shown. Grok watches the frames, processes the audio, and gives you back something like, the gadget's camera zoom is shown at 0.08. Battery life is mentioned at 0.15. The waterproof feature is demonstrated at 0.22. That's a feature inventory you can drop straight into your marketing copy. 3 prompts, 3 deliverables, 1 workflow. That's what I mean when I say Grok 4.3 feels like a coworker rather than a chatbot. But before you rush to sign up, there's something really important you need to know about access, because this is where XAI's rollout strategy gets a little frustrating. This are access, pricing, and rollout. Real talk on the price tag, because this is the part where a lot of people get blindsided. Grok 4.3 beta is currently in early access, and at launch, it's locked exclusively to the SuperGrok Heavy tier, which runs $300 a month. That's positioned as the power user plan, and Heavy subscribers get the 16 big brain agents, top priority compute, and first access to Grok 4.3, plus any new features as they ship. If you're on the regular SuperGrok tier at $30 a month, here's the kicker. You can see the Grok 4.3 option in the interface, but you can't actually activate it yet. It's basically dangling in front of you. Here's a small bright spot though. In early April 2026, XAI ran a 3-day window where Grok 4.3 was open to $30 subscribers as a free demo, kind of a teaser to get people hyped. And based on the rollout pattern, broader access is expected to expand around mid-May 2026, once the beta testing phase wraps up. So if you're not ready to drop $300 a month, hold tight. You're probably not far from being able to try it on the cheaper plan. Let's bring it all home. Grok 4.3. Beta turns your chat assistant into a genuine content generator. You can spin up PDFs, slide decks, and spreadsheets natively, drop in images and videos for analysis, and lean on a sharper reasoning engine that's working with a 2 million token context window. The auto mode handles the speed versus depth trade-off for you, and the multi-agent setup means complex tasks actually hold together. Just remember, this is still a beta. Features are improving daily, and a few things are still missing. Persistent memory hasn't shown up on the public roadmap yet, so don't expect Grok to remember your projects between sessions just yet. That said, the gap between Grok 4.3 and the rest of the AI field on document generation is real. And if your work involves producing actual deliverables, this is worth paying attention to. That's it for our deep dive. If this helped you understand what Grok 4.3 actually does and whether it's worth your money, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest AI breakdowns. No hype, just what works. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you on the $300 heavy tier already, or are you waiting for the wider rollout? Drop your take below, and let me know what specific Grok demos you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.